darkness. We have a universe full of stars and bright lights, yet we still find darkness. This isn't a story about finding the Titanic. It isn't a story about finding love. It isn't a story about figuring out who to be. It's a story about losing my best friend. The one who let me cry on her shoulder when I was down. The one who was always there for me. The one who was always by my side. The one who knew me better than anyone else. The one who made me who I am. But now that she's gone, I have no stars in my space. And space without stars isn't space at all. It all started off as a normal day. Summer and me got onto the bus like we always do. We sat next to each other, and we talked the whole way to school. We went to class and did our work. We got up to lunch and recess, until it got to sixth period. The period when we heard a bang. The door burst open. A shot was fired. All I could hear after that were screams. I could see blood on the floor. Some of my classmates weren't even moving. I was terrified of what was going to happen next. Were Summer and me going to die? I was panicking. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know why there was a shooter in our school in the first place. Why would a person do this?
You guys better not say a word, or else this gun will come shooting right through your brain. Each and every one of you! Now say goodbye. Don't shoot her. I'll shoot you instead.
No!
I'm dead.
Oh my god, guys, there's blood on the floor. What
He's
is it?
dead. R.I.P.
Dad,
sorry.
wake up,
No,
Summer.
wake up. No, wake up.
Hello?
It took me weeks, months, and years to get back up, to fight back, to know that I had to do something to stop the deaths of innocent people. People like Summer. To save our future generations of a continual cycle of death. To save humanity from losing themselves and their loved ones. To do something that would show that Summer did not die in vain. To show that I had survived. To tell the story. To tell our story. To tell the world's story. I decided to make a difference. I was no longer a student at my school. I was an activist. I used all my skills and my story to bring people on my side. I learned to make protests and how to make a change in a world that needs some people to stand up, to make that change.
We need gun control. We need gun control. We need gun control. We need gun control.
Order in the court. Mrs. Hart, would you like to state your case?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm standing here today not for myself but for our country and the rest of the world. I'm also standing here today for all the lives lost to gun violence, especially my one and only best friend, Summer. She died because of an inconsiderate human who wanted to do harm to our society. A human who used a gun, something legal in our country, for an act of murder. I desire for my friend to not have died in vain, and to do that I desire to ban guns. Guns should be banned because of the amount of deaths caused by them.
Mrs. Hart, though your story is very empathetic and sorrowful, the Second Amendment still defends the right of people maintaining guns. Banning guns is simply unconstitutional.
Your Honor, this may be true, but wouldn't it be better to lose guns than lose more lives? Out of the many problems our society already has, would it not be better to solve at least one of those deadly problems? And the Fifth Amendment even allows a law in the Constitution to be changed. Let's give humanity a chance, one more chance of living.
Well, Mrs. Hart, there is a chance, but please do remember that 2/3 of the Senate and the House majority have to approve of the bill that will be sent.
Of course, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Case closed.
After a few months, I found out that the bill had been approved, and I cried of joy. There were news reports that deaths caused by guns around the world had suddenly decreased. Now when I walk the streets, I know that there is still violence, but it feels more peaceful, knowing that at least if someone has a gun in their hand, it's illegal. The world is heading back in the right place, and even though I did and still miss summer, a space in my heart is filled. The stars in space are shining again, and the star shines brighter up in space, or in the sky. I believed, and still believe, that it's Summer's star, that she's watching over me.